right. Okay. So, we are live. Everybody. How is everybody doing? As you can see by the bags under my eyes, I am extremely exhausted. You know, the greatest show on earth has been, it's been busy, day after day after day, but I'm not complaining. Not complaining at all. You know why? Because the show must go on. Life goes on. And guess what? You're just gonna have to prepare for the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, you know? So that's just the reality of the situation, and that's what we have to do, you know? So personally, I'm looking forward to what lies ahead. I'm sure you all as well. Hello, good evening everybody, and welcome to Reggae Boys Commentary. This is the channel where we come together to discuss everything in relation to Jamaican football. This is your hub for everything Jamaican football related. Now, you're looking at the title of this video and wondering exactly what is it that I'm referring to specifically. And what I'm referring to specifically is quite simple. Now, I've made my feelings extremely clear on this platform as it relates to xenophobia and other matters that I've been quite miffed and livid about in the past. Yeah? And the fact of the matter is this. On Friday at 2 o'clock Jamaica time, England will face the United States at the World Cup. Calvin Hicks says, big up Simon, and RBC subscribers. KS Sports TV says, blessed evening Simon. Good evening to you all. Good evening to you all. Really, really appreciate you guys tuning in. I am grateful. Extremely grateful for you all. I really, really do. I am honestly grateful. Honestly. So, really, really happy. So, let me get back to the point that I was making. England against the United States at 2 o'clock. Theodore Tapper Whitmore has scored 2 goals at the FIFA World Cup. He scored a brace against Japan. Raheem Sterling scored against Iran. So it's quite interesting that the Jamaican-born footballers at a World Cup scored against AFC teams. You know? Raheem Sterling in a 6-2 win, Tapper in a 2-1 victory. Richie Richard says, good evening from Kingston, New York. New York, New York. John Powell says, big up Simon. Big up John. Hope you're doing good. So let me get right into the matter in relation to this point in particular, shall we? So, in relation specifically to this point, Tapper has 2 goals. You know what that means? Do you guys know what that means? Well, quite simply put, if Raheem Sterling scores a brace against the Americans on Friday, Raheem Sterling will be the highest scoring Jamaican-born footballer in World Cup history. In World Cup history. Raheem Sterling will be the highest scoring Jamaican-born World Cup scorer in history. Just let that sink in. In history. This in itself is a cause for rejoice, for celebration, for something that you can reflect on with fondness. 2 goals away from making that a reality. And that is why this is something that we should embrace. Really, really should. And look, we have a lot to think about and to embrace on the other side of things as well. We could see Brennan Johnson take the field for Wales against Iran tomorrow. We could also see the likes of a Kenneth Taylor take the field against Ecuador for the Dutch. We could also see for the United States the Cameron Carter-Vickers of this world, and also the Anthony Robinson of this world, the Tim Weah, who scored for the United States as well. So who knows what else and who else will be out there to ensure that this is something that falls into place quite naturally. So for me, from my angle, my perspective, I'm looking this as a win-win scenario. There's no way in my mind that I view this as disappointment. I look at this as happiness. And while a couple of years ago I was a bit miffed that Raheem Sterling didn't play for Jamaica, I understand, and I know what transpired with Captain Horace Burrell and the conversations that he had I think personally he should have spoken to the player and the player's agent instead of going to the English FA itself. And I think that was perhaps the only mistake I would say that Captain made. He's a human being, we all make mistakes, but Captain did amazing things for our country, and which is why I will always, you know, support, what he did, because he did a lot of great things. Calvin Hicks says, never know. Cameron Carter Hicks says Jamaican. Well, 24 players at this World Cup have Jamaican heritage. 6 on Costa Rica, a couple on the United States, a couple on Canada, England, the Netherlands, 1 on Wales. So, yeah. It's something that we can be really, really happy about and think about and process, and honestly, yeah, you guys will embrace it. Yeah, honestly. It's a good look, don't it? Just think about it for a moment. So that's why I said that this is something that we should all like. The World Cup, your guys' thoughts, your guys' impressions about it so far? Are you guys impressed by what you're seeing so far? Are there moments where you're like, you know what I mean? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say where that is concerned. Are there situations, scenarios that get you a bit concerned? But from my angle, personally, I feel the November-December World Cup is a blessing. Many people say it's not, but I look at it as a blessing because you have players that are getting set to go into second gear or third gear in terms of their form. Legs a bit fresher. They played probably 10, 15 games in all competitions this season, so they're at that point where they're about to increase the intensity, and the World Cup is that perfect platform for them to raise those standards and those intensities. And it's different compared to the June-July window where you play 35, 40 games already under your belt and you are, quite frankly, a bit jaded, a bit tired. So yeah. Ian Campbell says the World Cup started today at 2 o'clock. Yeah. Oh, because Serbia played. Okay. Serbia big side, Yeah, man, you have Milinkovic Savic, who's close to my height, in goal. You have Alexander Mitrovic, goal-scoring machine. 40-odd goals in the championship, 44 goals in the championship. Man was on fire! Dusan Tadic. Yeah, man, Dusan Tadic a baller too, Starboy says, bless up, Simon. Side win today, Brazil. Yes, it's B. Again, we'll have to wait and see if this happens, but for me personally, the big test will come when Brazil are trailing 1-0 in a game. How will they respond? How will they react? Things have just gone too perfectly well for them. How will they respond on the pressure? How will they respond when the temperature levels are cranked up? How will they respond when all of this takes place? It's something serious to consider. It's something that we really, really, really have to consider, honestly. And quite frankly, we won't know until they're in that situation. So I'm hoping, because as we know, the past 3 World Cups, 6, 10, 14, 18, 4 World Cups, Brazil has been eliminated by Western European teams. 2006, the French. 2010, the Dutch. 2014, it was the Germans at the semi-final stage. 2018, it was Belgium. Let's see what 2022 will bring. I had them to go to the semi-finals, and from there we'll see. We're just gonna have to wait and see. But again, I want this video, and I want you guys to be aware about the amazing possibility that awaits tomorrow. And I want you guys to know that this is special. Extremely special. Starboy says it's been great so far. I've enjoyed all the matches I've watched, which excluding the Cameroon match. You know what, the second half, honestly, I like what I saw from the Swiss. And to be honest with you, I like Switzerland, and the reason why I like Switzerland is because of their efficiency, their stubbornness, they're tough to beat in nature. That's the reason why I like Switzerland. I know they might not have a star player per se, but as a unit collectively with their decent players, they're a good unit. And it's a testament to the reason why they've qualified for every World Cup since 2006. And there's a testament to the reason why they've been to a round of 16 of a World Cup and also to the quarterfinals of the European Championships quite recently. As you know, they defeated France in the round of 16, and it was a penalty shootout again, the reason why they didn't go to the semi-finals. I would have loved to see Switzerland in that semi-finals against the Italians, and who knows what could happen after there, you know, because it could have been Switzerland-England final. It could have been. It really, really could have been. But yeah, that's that, you know. Very, 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 very disappointing. But the show must go on, eh? The show must go on. But I want you guys to really think about this. Starboy says, USA getting 4 contact load in their country. My prediction for the game. I like your confidence, but I'm not going with that figure in particular. I'm gonna go with this figure. My only concern is that I hope that the high energy of the Americans won't get to England in a little enthusiastic nature. I'm looking forward to the game. Can't wait. 2 o'clock can't come here any sooner. But for you guys, which one of those 4 games tomorrow are you looking forward to the most? The one with the Jamaican connections for England and USA, or the Dutch against the Ecuadorians, or Wales against Iran, or Qatar against Senegal? Which one of them? Jamaica should have been in the World Cup. Your core players and former coach are the main reasons we didn't qualify. My core players. Ariapa. Mr. Campbell says USA 2, England 1. Alright guys, have a good evening. Lots more content coming your way. Trust me. Vincent Berger says wrong, the JFF. I don't think you can put the sole blame on them, although I believe given a lot of debuts in the year of qualifying was not the best decision. Starting seven new players against Panama at home. We could go on and on. Personally, not having fans at the stadium as well was another concern as well. The government of Jamaica has to take some accountability there. How could we allow somebody on Costa Rica who has COVID on the field? I was at the game. How could that have happened? Anyways, tough one. But folks, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Tell me what you think. How are you guys feeling? 2026. Everybody, we just have to, you know, depart. And if we qualify, and if Jamaica qualifies for 2026 and we're based East Coast USA, I'm telling you guys right now, we're going round of 16 of that World Cup. I'm telling you guys right now, if our base for the tournament is East Coast and our games are Toronto, New York, New Jersey, Philly, Atlanta, Orlando, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, if we're East Coast, we're Chris. I'm telling you right now, with Chris. Toronto. At a push, Texas, Dallas, Houston. We'll find a way. Because trust me, every man going to make sure that them have visa to go travel and get time off from work. Jamaica is gonna have less than 2 million people by the time World Cup comes around. In terms of of course, the traveling out of the country and so on. Everybody have auntie and uncle, or mother, or brother and sister in the States, them can stay with them, and take a flight the next day, them end up in another state or another city, or drive down south. Trust me, I'm telling you guys right now, we have to be there. We have to. Jamaica has to be in 2026. Has to. That is a must. Yeah. Yeah. All right, folks. More to come. Stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe to Reggae Boys Commentary, guys. Lots to come for. A couple of What's the Deals as well.